Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Comics and Coffee. Oh my god, fuck, that's good. It's better than sex. Alright guys, we'll be looking at Green Lantern's annual number 1 right now. It's written by Andy Diggle with art by Mike Perkisset. Mike Perkisset. That's pretty funny. Alright, so let's get into the review. I'm tired as fuck. I should be getting ready for school right now, but fuck that shit, man. This is more important than my education and all of my future. Okay. Anyhow, I really like this story. Just like a brief thing, because like it's what an annual should be, and a lot of annuals aren't. A lot of annuals are like either like tie-ins and stuff. Like for example, the Green Arrow Annual 2 came out this Wednesday as well. And that was a tie-in to No Justice, which is kind of like who the fuck asks for that, as well as a lot of annuals are kind of like crossovers and stuff. But I really like the standalone stuff. I think they did like a Red Hood issue or a Nightwing issue where it was Red Hood and Nightwing together, and that was kind of fun. So I like it when they do that. And yeah, Tim Seeley was writing the other issues, and now he's leaving, and I think this guy's taking over for just the annual. I think someone else might be filling in for the next couple issues, but then Dan Jurgens is coming. One thing I hope happens though is that the fucking art gets better. Like not this art. This art's fine. It's pretty nifty. It's kind of like a horror. I thought it kind of gave me a horror vibe. Like fucking scary that shit is. But the other series with Tim Seeley, all the art in the Tim Seeley books were like, I'm sorry, but like they were like pretty bad. Like there were some that were like okay, manageable, but others were like, this looks like you got like a guy who like went to art school for like 2 years and thinks he can like draw and shit. Like it was fucking horrible. But I'm already like 2 minutes in, haven't even started. So let's hop in, guys. It's called The Lost Lantern. So what we see here is that Jessica and Simon Baz, the two Green Lanterns, are chosen to make a presentation, or I guess you should say a speech, at this planet. And this planet has this history around that surrounds the Lost Lantern, which pretty much, what do you call it? It was like this old history book, but it's so old that people think it's kind of a myth now. And so practically, you have to say, oh, he made a big sacrifice and shit. This happened. It was a bit confusing. I need to read my comics twice, because usually when I read it first time, I only get like the base of what's happening. If I read a second time, I can kind of get the pace in my head a bit correct, and I can kind of read it how the author intended, I think. Anyhow, yeah, the Lost Lantern is like, this guy made a sacrifice, and they're going there to pretty much celebrate him as his race, his species is one of the first one to enter the, the Green Lanterns and stuff. Making a speech, and Jess is like, oh fuck, I'm so nervous and stuff. And then it turns out that Simon's like, well, we gotta make a speech. He's like, I'll just wing it. He's like, download all the data and stuff. I think it was right there, compiling ready. He's like, I'm just gonna wing it. And it turns out like, this is what the species looks like. This isn't the Lost Lantern. When I saw the previews, I thought this was like a fucking alien or something. But it's not. Just a species. And their whole species is about like conformity and shit. And so, like almost anything is like inappropriate. It says, timing of your arrival is inappropriate. Your attitude is inappropriate. Nevertheless, acceptable. Kind of just talks about that, and he's like saying how that's not important to the plot, but talking about shit. And there's also a bit of comedy. He's like, are you guys breeding partners and stuff? It's kind of funny. Then they go to a room and stuff. Jess is nervous, of course, about it, because they find everything so inappropriate now, and like so many things can be inappropriate. So then Simon does his speech, not so nifty and stuff, right? I should read this a second time, because I feel like it would be a lot better. Because I found this part right here kind of boring and stuff. Like, so in like the middle, that's what I like about this book. It gets more exciting and more exciting. It doesn't like die down at all. Like in like No Justice. Just kidding. No Justice. No Justice was okay. It was like It's kind of boring. I just roasted Scott Snyder. Sorry, man. Sorry, bro. I bought some of your books though, so I kind of gave you money. So can't really call me names. No, you can, but roasted. All right. Yeah, and then she's like, "Where's Jess?" Jess is like, "I just gotta blow up some steam. That was bad. I fucking bombed." I kind of missed the point. She said that during her speech, she kind of starts to stutter and stuff. And she's like, "Abe must have taken him will, and will overcomes fear." And okay, it's a bit off topic, but I hope when Dan Jurgens writes the Green Lanterns, is that when he names an alien species and the alien race, he names it something that I can actually fucking pronounce. Because, like, that word right there in the Green Lantern bubble says will. Kamrataza. Like, I know you don't have to pronounce it, you just have to look at it in your head, but it's like, what the fuck? Then Vaken, I think. It's like, fuck. Just fucking name it fucking, like, Valzo or fucking, I don't know, fucking something easier. Just kind of gets me angry. Those names are inappropriate. Sorry, Andy Dougal. Roasted. Not bad. And I was going to talk about that. She talks about, like, will and stuff, but then she messes it up, and she's like, oh, that word can also mean, like, willful, which can mean disobedient, unruly, which is bad. I mean, not bad, but it has a negative connotations. I don't mean the Lost Lantern was a... I don't know if she was referencing how, like, they always conform and stuff, and maybe you're being, like, disobedient, and so that's bad, because they're all about conformity and shit. So they kind of... It looks like they stopped her and stuff, right? She went to go blow off some steam. She's like, no, I'm fine. She's trying to get a moment to herself and stuff. And she's like, solitude is inappropriate. That guy says inappropriate lunch. She's like, I know. Just give me a minute, will you? Surely the age of heroes is long past. She'll never see her like again. Fucking rages and shit. She punches, like, the wall, gets angry at it. She's like, I feel a bit better now. Something starts grabbing her. It's like, what? It's like, looks like it was like a Green Lantern somehow grabbing her. Like the constructs. It says deploying appropriate countermeasures. And it's in a different shade of green too. Then she's like, willpower at 100%. So she's fucking going ham right now. Willpower at 255%. That's kind of fucked. I think that's kind of OP. Like, I would have only done maybe like 175% or something. But even 255% is a lot. So there's random lanterns attacking, then he's like suppress, restrain, detain. And then they can't, like, the lantern's blocking them or something, so they can't communicate across to say I'm not an enemy. She's like, it's pointless. I'm just going to let it take me to where it wants and stuff. I'm fighting it. It's making me harder. Not making me harder. It's making it harder to escape. She goes down. Man, I really want to... Bit off topic. But, like, the first Green Lantern runs, like, the first run of... I think it was, like, fucking Sam Humphries was writing it. I never picked it up. But hers really good. And so that's why I hopped on when a new creative guy came on. Because I'm like, oh, fresh start. Took a fucking bomb dive, dude. I looked at some of the art, dude, for some of the previous... For Sam Humphries stuff. It was solid. And Tim Seeley's writing was like... It was good and all. Don't get me wrong. But it just wasn't exciting. Like... There was character development, which was nice. But it just wasn't, like, appetizing. It was just fucking kind of, like... Almost kind of bland. Like, it was weird. But... What was I going to say? I hope Dan Jurgens gets better at this. And I don't know. This comic... Maybe I just don't like the Green Lantern characters, man. I don't know. I hope I don't, because I really like Jessica. She's pretty nice sometimes. Being by nice, I mean she's fucking thick as shit. Alright. Yeah, then John Stewart, Simon Baz, Hal Jordan's there. They're like, oh fuck, where's Jess? They go and find her. They meet that same thing, the same light construct. Then there's no... Vakia is the name of the planet. It's like suppress, restrain, detain, fight back. The art's pretty cool. I want to see this guy do like a fucking think he'd be good on like a Batman book. Yeah, like a really noir Batman book or like a horror. Nice Swamp Thing book. That'd be nice. That'd be really cool. Yeah, I think the art. I think this was a kind of a good book. Okay, so she's like, "Oh, where am I?" She's like, "Oh, now I remember. I gotta do the better camera angles." I'm not even excited for this, man. No Justice was fucking. I don't know. Scott Snyder's always like, "Oh, this is my best thing." It's always been leading up to this. I'm like, I would give Justice League an arc, and I'm gonna give Justice League Odyssey an issue. I'm not gonna pick up Dark because I don't like the magic shit. And then if I don't like it, I'm gonna take it off because I'm already having the Terrifics, Green Lanterns, and what do you call it? Doomsday Clock on my pull, and I have like no money left. Fucking, what do you call it? I made a video on Terrifics number 4, but I fucking lost it because I had to reset my phone because it wasn't working properly. Well, I take a sip of my coffee, it's gonna get cold. Fuck. Fucking pick up Terrifics number 4, man. She's like, she's like, damn, wait, what the fuck? Did I miss some? She's like, the entire planet is a lantern construct. Oh yeah, that's fucking right. Yeah, no, I forgot this part. Yeah. Yeah, it's like oh yeah, by the way, like the whole planet, most of it got like wiped away and shit. And it was really confusing at the beginning because they're like, the whole planet got wiped away from like the sun, right? Like the species got wiped away, but then like it was just kind of random information, but he tried connecting it to the Lost Lantern somehow. And he's like, he was fighting the forces of chaos. But I'm like, why would you put those two next together? Those don't have any correlation. Like him fighting like bad and then the fucking sun. You can't fucking fight a sun or some bullshit. I was confused on that. I'll have to reread it. This is probably mostly on my part. She's like, it was lost eons ago. It's an ancient Green Lantern prison, right? She's like, remember when I got my phone? And my phone started to slow down because like my hardware couldn't handle the upgrade and shit. We've all had that. We had to fucking fork out money for a new phone. And so she had to like purposely downgrade her computer in order to communicate with the OS and make sure, like with her OS, and play it smoothly and stuff, right? So she could communicate with it. So that's what she does to her ring. She's like, oh, maybe this is like the Lost Lantern or whatever. So she downgrades her ring to make it one of the first versions. They're just trapped. This was just for community effect, I'm pretty sure. Downgrades it. She breaks free. Lantern doesn't detect that she's a, intruder. I gotta make these videos shorter. See him. Restricted. Then he's in like a self-imposed holographic memory. Trapped his own past, reliving his own sacrifice. Hooked me in. I don't really get why he would do that, but yeah. So he hooked himself into a certain memory of his sacrifice. This is the Lost Lantern origin. Is that pretty much and then I guess he just got the ring or whatever. He's like, I'm unworthy of this. And his superiors are pretty much saying you have to obey us, do you answer to order, or chaos. He's like, I obey the law, of course. And they're like, well, we are the law. And so you're going to listen to us, not the Green Lantern. Not the Green Lantern course. You have to listen to us. And he's like, that's all about like the conformity and shit. Nobody's having to listen to that. So he's kind of conflicted and stuff. And there's a big crowd outside of the, I guess, the Parliament building or some bullshit. And then, you know, he's like, I obey. Not too happy about it. He goes, detains them and stuff. He's like, help us. Then that's where like the suppress, retain, detain, or suppress, restrain, detain comes from. I was like conflicted, and what turns out is that he didn't really know what to do with it. And so when the sun went supernova, he like on the debris collapse around this inferior. Yeah, there was so when the Vikings sun went nova, there was no lantern here to save it. the planet was destroyed, and debris coalesced, what the fuck, around the inferiority complex you constructed for yourself. The fuck? I don't know. I gotta reread this shit because it's weird. Okay, this is what pissed me off. Okay, so he's like talking about like, I obeyed the law and betrayed the core. No one must ever know my shame. So he's like, I fucked up. I'm just conflicted. I'm lost right now. I know what this cunt says. She's like, too late. But hey, we all screw up sometimes, right? It's like, what the fuck? Why would you? Too late. Too late. Too late. I hate people who do that shit. I'm sorry, but it's too late, man. Thanks for like stating the fucking obvious, a buddy pal. Just do instead of too late. Be like, hey, we all screw up sometimes, right? Just don't, what the fuck? But that is kind of in Jessica's tone, because she is kind of like confused, although not confused, but like a bit socially awkward and stuff. But still, that was this kind of cringy part. Comes back and he's like guilty. Oh yeah, and by the way, he was imposed for like a fucking million years. Like he did that shit to himself. And as he made his own like prison for a million years. So he's getting sentenced for abusing the lantern shit somehow. They escalated the conflict. And Simon Baz is kind of on the defense. Or whatever the fuck you call it. Like they're versing each other. The Lost Lantern and Simon Baz. Simon Baz is like, nah, this dude's okay, man. He was lost. He was conflicted. They're like, well, sorry, man, but we're gonna have to sentence you to like a million years in jail for betraying the stuff. And then John's like, I wasn't finished. Given the extenuating circumstance, you're obeying a direct order from your rulers, and you saved your entire race. And then you did the prison time yourself, pretty much, by self-imposing. So you're good, man. Just, you're not allowed the ring, I don't think, anymore. The fuck? Wait, does he get the ring back? No, he fucking doesn't. But Simon Baz and Jessica Cruz watch him. She's like, the best way to get rid of self-consciousness and inadequacy is called karaoke. You're gonna love it, girl. Oh, fuck. That was kind of funny. I don't know. I think this book might be a bit too, like, SJW for me. Like no shit. Because it has, like, a fucking Muslim character and, like, a Spanish one. Or Latina. But she's, like, thick as fuck, though. Not really my problem. I don't really give a fuck. I read a book if it's, like, SJW to the max. As long as it's, like, fucking good and shit. This wasn't really SJW. It was just, I don't know. It was good. I'm just starting to think maybe I don't like the Green Lanterns. And I thought I did. And I gotta fucking pick up a new book. But, yeah, no, this is definitely a good book. If you're in the comic shop and you just want like a standalone fucking story and you have like you got maybe an extra money on your paycheck, fucking pick this book up. You'll read, you'll be like, that was a solid book. I got some lanterns, got this nice little like kind of like suspenseful horror story, a nice story about like conformity and kind of like finding your own direction and stuff. I don't fucking know. I'll be honest, the only reason I'm doing this book, man, is because like it's either this, No Justice, or Doomsday Clock, and I'm gonna do a review of all the No Justice books. And Doomsday Clock is just like a bit too big to dissect, and it was kind of like it was okay. It was an okay issue. I like the second issue, the third issue the best. Anyhow, I like to rate my books on a I don't know. Like I said, yeah, I would recommend. Would I recommend this for $4.99? I think I paid like $6-7 for this in Canada. Would I recommend this? Yeah, I'd recommend it if you're walking the comic shop and you kind of want an extra story. Pick this up. It's a good comic book. But if you're wanting to hop into Green Lanterns, wait for Dan Jurgens to start his run and then hop on with him, because this is just a standalone story, so there's really no long-term payoff. I think he might be writing like a second issue. Andy Diggle. I'm gonna call you Andrew. Is that what your mom called you? Andrew, it's time for dinner. Fuck. But I hope if I get more subscribers and stuff, I'll probably what do you call it? buy more books and stuff, like random issues and stuff. To either like roast them, probably not roast them. I don't want to be like a dick to too many people, but yeah, I got suspended, so I'm kind of like fucking pissed and just tired of school right now. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, so I would say overall Andy Diggle and what's his name, Mike Perkins. Mike Perkins, awesome art, man. You definitely need to do like some horror stuff. I would definitely pick that up just for your art. Andy Diggle, solid writing, man. Like you got like Simon Baz and the relationship and dynamic between them pretty good. Story was interesting. You know, it was a simple forward story. It's a story. Like it's good. Like it's what I would expect from getting a comic book. It's good. Yeah, well, yeah, no, this is good. Good job, guys, on this book. Good job. Yeah, I don't know. Oh yeah, and by the way, I might be making a new series called like pitching, where I just pitch my own series on books and stuff or ideas I have for comic books. But that'll be coming along later. I might do one. I'll give you a hint. It's called the combination between the Infinity Gauntlet and the Lantern Corps. So I might do that video, and those videos would be like an hour long, maybe. Just me fucking talking and shit. But yeah. Anyhow, guys, I've been rambling along for too long right now. So I hope everyone, if you're watching this in the morning, I hope you're gonna have a good day. If you're watching this at night, hope you're gonna have a good night. If you're watching this in the middle of the afternoon, I hope your day is going well. And I'll see you guys later. Please hit the subscribe button. I don't like to say that. Please hit the subscribe button, guys. I'm a YouTuber. Subscribe to me if you like my videos, and my content will get better, because right now I'm just recording myself, and I kind of want to like talk to people and stuff. So bye. Tough guy. Look at those. Oh, thick. Oh, fuck.